Hey nerds, we are going to do our review and breakdown of And Just Like That, Season 3, Episode 7, starting now. Welcome back to the Nerd Social. I am Colin. So, the title of Episode 7 is They Wanna Have Fun. It is written by Lucas Froehlich and directed by Anu Valia. Spoiler-free logline of this episode is Carrie throws Charlotte a party to boost her spirits. Anthony has an awkward first meeting with Giuseppe's mom. Seema and Adam's flirtation blossoms. So my spoiler-free thoughts about this episode is it tries to balance out a lot of the storylines. I think that there's just too many storylines that come into play. For some critics, it might be because of the diversity thing, but I just think that they have a lot of characters that they need to make sure that they have enough screen time. One character gets more screen time than previous episodes, and then another one is sidelined for the most part. Although the person that was sidelined this time got a lot of airtime last time. Charlotte's kids get some screen time in this episode, but they're just pretty much window dressing. I think they're trying to make Charlotte much more independent this season. There's some very explosive reveals, one that turned out pretty good and one not so much. So we'll get to that in the spoiler breakdown. A will they or won't they scenario finally comes to fruition. That's been already explained in the spoiler-free logline. So in terms of rating, I would give this episode, just like most of the episodes that I've given in And Just Like That Season 3, a 7 out of 10, which is a dinner party. It's better than last week. There's no plot hole this week, but the plot device for this episode summarizes some of the fits and starts of the season, and also some of the things that Carrie does don't make any sense. But of course, if you watch Sex and the City, Carrie doesn't know how to make up her mind. She's gotten older, but her mind is still the same. So those are my spoiler-free thoughts. If you like what I have to say about And Just Like That and other content we put out there, please like, share, and subscribe for more. We really appreciate your support as we are growing really rapidly as a channel. We also have a website right now, thenerdsocial.org, so please check that out. Without further ado, spoilers ahead for Season 3, Episode 7 of And Just Like That. So we start off with Duncan coming in, and there's this budding relationship that he and Carrie had, and then there was also an awkward interaction between Duncan and Aiden. So there's definitely some tension that's going on. Carrie and Duncan also had dinner in episode 6, and now they read each other's stuff, and he is enthralled with her interpretation of a period piece that Carrie is writing. I predict that at the end of Season 3, there's going to be a romantic kiss. It is going to piss off everybody because she did say that in the previous episode, she didn't have a problem with Aiden cheating on her because they are waiting 5 years. So she's going to have needs. So I'm not sure as to how Aiden is going to react to this, knowing that Aiden seems as though he doesn't want that open relationship. He just made a mistake with his ex-wife. So I am not sure how they're going to resolve this, but Anthony did not really have a lot of things to do in the last couple of episodes. And so finally, this was in the trailer, Giuseppe's mother comes in, portrayed by Patti LuPone, in an Italian accent. Of course, I remember her from Agatha all along. Giuseppe's mother is originally from Buffalo, so it reminded me a lot of Hilaria Baldwin with the accent. Oh, I'm from Spain. I was really turned off by this interaction where she's trying to play off that she's Italian, even though she spent most of her time in Italy and then had a son, Giuseppe. But anyways, there's a lot of tension between Anthony and also Gia here. But Carrie also has a budding relationship with Gia. Maybe they have some similarities with each other. Being so romanticized at a young age and going to Italy and marrying an older man. It's a fantasy that I think that Carrie gravitates to a lot. As for Carrie, she almost revealed to Miranda that Harry has cancer. And so, in order to cover that up, she said that Charlotte's dog, Richard Burton, is the one that has terminal cancer and not Harry. Miranda then comes up with a brilliant idea of trying to celebrate Charlotte's birthday to make it a big occasion, and it's going to be at Carrie's house. So again, Carrie's house is becoming much more of a character of this season. Then we find out that Charlotte is upset that Harry, they play it off as though Harry is cheating, but he is really not cheating. He's actually just has a personal shopper. Her name is Bonnie, and basically she has been the one that's been shopping for Harry to give Charlotte gifts for all this time. Bonnie knows about Harry's illness, but Charlotte cannot tell any of her friends about it. There's a resolution to that later. As for Adam, we thought that Adam and Carrie would get together. They did a head fake, and he's much more interested in Seema. Seema, on the other hand, is the uncatchable woman. We saw a whole montage of her going on dates with men and just figuring them all out. Now, for Adam, she really has him figured out, but he has some mysterious appeal. And here he was trying to clean out her eyelashes. There's also going to be a resolution to this near the end of this episode. As for Charlotte's kids, they've been sidelined for much of this season, except for the fact that Lily had a budding relationship with Diego, the ballet dancer. But we find out here that Lily is moping because Diego broke up with her, unfortunately. My wife had mentioned she's really a spoiled brat. And I get that. I definitely see it. But I also chalk it up to being a teenager. The way I see is when you're in a household like Charlotte's, you're going to feel very privileged. And I compared this to William and Harry. When William and Harry were growing up, Princess Diana really made sure that her sons were humbled and that her sons knew that they were from privilege and that they knew that there are other people in the world that are less fortunate than they are. And I think that Lily does not really see that. At this point, she's the prissy little princess right now. And I think that Rock actually sees that a lot more. She's a lot more humble based on her personality. Whether or not Lily's going to get that awakening, we don't really know just yet. As for Miranda, because she wants to play up Charlotte's party, she got these nice balloons. She also got the plot device that I mentioned in the spoiler-free part, a karaoke machine, where Lisa's son had to sing 2 songs off the karaoke machine because no one wanted to volunteer. No one wanted to feel embarrassed. So he actually had the courage to come up and sing a couple of songs from his High School Musical. It just symbolizes a lot about this season where there's some fits and starts and there's some awkwardness. It just explains very much what the season is all about. Then finally, Harry brought everybody in to, I think, the kitchen and told Carrie, told Miranda, and with Charlotte in there, Lisa and Herbert, to tell them he has cancer because Miranda was under the impression that Richard Burton was going to die. And the little punchline at the end was that Charlotte actually was much more worried about the fact that her dog might die instead of her own husband. And her husband is very self-deprecating and said, yeah, it would be very devastating if Richard Burton will die instead of me. So that was pretty funny. It's a good resolution that they dealt with it. It was very upfront. I hate it when sitcoms or shows, they just prolong those little secrets that happen and then it leads to a lot of misunderstanding. I like the fact that they addressed this already and just put it to bed. And also the fact that Harry was really open to tell everyone that it was a very bad thing for his wife to hold it all in all this time and not reveal it to her friends. It was very selfish and he acknowledged that. So that was really good as well. Toward the end of this episode, we find out that Seema is starting to let down her guard, and we saw at the very end they were in a cab, they were kissing each other very affectionately. So some good resolution there as well between Seema and Adam, and hopefully it turns out okay. It also turns out that he is available because he broke up with his girlfriend. And then finally, the thing that really didn't turn out very well is Miranda questioning Carrie's relationship with Duncan. And so it led to a lot of back and forth between the two. And it almost looked like a Housewives type of drama where they're going after each other. They kiss and made up at the end. But then they show this scene at the very end of this episode with Shu, where I think that she's still trying to figure it all out. I think that what Miranda said was true. Carrie is just playing around, and it's a disservice to Carrie that she keeps doing this. And it's good for Miranda for calling it out and confronting this controversy. But I think that Carrie's still wispy and in the clouds right now, just looking out toward the horizons. I have a feeling, just based on what I've seen in Sex and the City and this season as well, that she still can't make up her mind and probably going to make some wrong decisions along the way, because that's just how Carrie is. So those are my thoughts about Just Like That season 3 episode 7. Tell us what you think about this episode by commenting down below. Like, share, and subscribe for more content like this, and we will see you next video. All right, take care, everybody.